Let's talk Castle for a little bit.
Yeah,
So, do you think it's ever gonna come back?
We get a $20 battle pack next year. I'll be the first person store in line buying 40 of them.
Well, those, your Lego stores only allow you to buy one, but you're gonna go to your Target and buy like 50.
Black Knights, but we
they're
got Dragon Master.
Black Knights are technically a fig bar of the other themes, right?
Yes, which is one of the reasons I don't like them, and I've gotten a lot of crap from them.
I love the Black. That's my first Castle thing. Whatever.
Yeah, the number of people who have bought more than one of those is insane.
I bought like 6
because it's Castle, and at this point, we are so desperate for our Castle fix.
We'll buy it.
Yes, I think Lego does need to target its own fans at times.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, but a kid who goes, "I love Lego Castle, I love Knights, I want that." Parents gonna look at that $400 price tag and go, "No!" And that's the thing.
That's me right now. I attempted to watch the show with my children.
Yeah.
They were bored.
I love it when we get new weapons.
But you don't get new weapons in Star Wars. This is the most Lego talk episode I've ever had.
It's all good.
I couldn't bring the proper stands with these. So I have them more just in case, but even the ones that are coffee table height are still too low. And so
dude, this is such a podcast vibe, though.
Is it though?
I've always wanted to do the podcast. You're sitting on the couch, just holding the mic.
As you can tell, we started.
Oh yeah,
okay, that's all right, dude. How's it going, man?
It's going good.
I know I'm a little taller than you.
do you need me to scrunch down a bit? I'll sit like this.
No, don't do that. I'll slouch just so. It definitely worked out with Tiago because he's tall. So it still made me look taller than him. So it's cool. Tiago's tall. He is a tall individual.
There are some content creators that you meet in person for the first time, and you're like, "What?
Yeah, what is going on? Why are you this tall?" So when you envision a creator, right? How tall do you think? What's your go-to height?
Usually 5'10". Just
kind of
in that, in that average height is where my mind goes.
That does make sense. I remember when I saw Josh for the first time, Josh from Josh Build Stuff. I didn't know he was 6 feet something. Even Thomas Tech Productions, or Planet Tech, I didn't know he was 6 something. But when you see them, you're like, oh, I feel inadequate.
It's funny because I'm 6'1", so I always have the opposite where I meet so many people. I'm like,
oh, you're short.
Yeah,
so that's me, huh? I'm the short guy.
You weren't. No, you were about where I expected.
Okay, cool.
You're a solid built dude. No matter what height you're going to be, you're going to be a solid built dude.
I appreciate that. And I'm a little, on the edge, but I'm in my late 30s now. It's so hard to get rid of this. Try so hard, work out all day, every day. And it doesn't go away.
Dude, working out, it's the grind. And you never feel like it's actually doing anything until a few months later where you're like,
oh, okay, I see it a little bit.
Yeah.
But it is harder when you're in your 30s, when your metabolism goes down. Now, if you really watch what you have to eat, because one little bite of this will affect everything.
See, I have that problem and I'm 24 this weekend. So.
Oh my God. Oh, yeah, that's right. Happy early birthday. And when this comes out, happy belated birthday, because I don't know when this is coming out.
It's November, Chicago December, January. If that's going to be end of the year.
No, definitely. Chicago again.
Yeah.
Again, when this is recording, this was recorded during Chicago. Obviously, it's going to be a similar theme with other familiar and similar episodes. What are you looking forward to this time around?
Dude, hanging out with the content creators, really.
That's pretty much
It's the biggest reason why I come to Chicago. Okay. The main reason is that.
Yeah.
Because there's some Cheesy Studios. I'm a good friends with him. We talk all the time, but I love getting to hang out with him in person.
Yes.
Because we also are both the only 2 collectors of the Knights Kingdom 2 trading card game that I know of. And we play when we're together. So it's
okay, fair enough.
But we also, we had a lot of the same interests of those themes and stuff. And so there's a lot of stuff like that, those types of people who I want to just talk to about, you know me. I love talking about Lego. I love talking about Lego Castle. I love talking about these original themes. And I don't always get to do that when I'm not here. And so during Chicago is a big time to be able to do that. So that's number one is that. And it's SW Bricks and London Bridge, the first time ever in the US. Known both of them for a while. London, I've known since I started content, basically.
Shout out to Greg, yeah.
Yeah, he's been, he's awesome. And I got to meet him in person for the first time. And SW Bricks, was so awesome to meet for the first time. Because, I done a stream with him. I did my 10,000 subscriber stream and he was on that. So it's just I've gotten to talk with these people, but I've never actually got to talk with these people.
let alone see them in person.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the surreal feeling about it, and it's always been a common theme with reasons why to come to Chicago is that you actually get to meet so many creators in the space. And if you're in the game, it's a great networking event. But not intentionally not a networking event, more like get to hang out and see how we all are, and just how tall we are.
Yeah, and also you get to talk to these people about if you're a content creator, you get to talk to them about content. And I was talking to Emily the other day, and she said something. I was like, I should have thought to do that in that situation, like because all of us are in different places. We all do different kinds of content, and so there's a point of like, let's say Cheesy's done something that I may want to try, and it's a good time to like be able to have that conversation. And
definitely.
So there's a lot of stuff like that. Just like you get to have those conversations, but you also get to meet content creators who you've either always watched or. Going into this weekend, I've had one person top of the list that I cannot wait to meet. Brotherhood Workshop. Is going to be here.
Yeah, for the panel, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I grew up on his content. He was like a legend to me because I loved animation stuff and I loved, fantasy and Lord of the Rings and the comedy that he did with it. Like growing up, I was like, damn, I wish I could be making that stuff as that good.
It's crazy. There is an animation panel, and that's one thing that's about the conventions or the panels, the individual things that you can do before the public days. And one of them I think that we're having is the animation one, so you get to see one of a few. I know Ant Bandit's part of it.
Ant Bandit, Force Fire.
Yeah, Force Fire's on it, and then I don't know if I'm going to attend that one. I'm not sure yet. It's on Friday, right? I think it's on Friday.
I don't know yet, but I'm definitely finding Brotherhood Workshop during this weekend, and I am.
See, that's the thing, but you can find them anywhere. It doesn't have to be like you could be like. Walking down to go get coffee, and then they are, or going to get a water or something. They'll be right there. And me just even trying to get here to meet you in the lobby was, I left the main space, and after I said lobby, I don't know if you saw that. Did you read it?
Yeah, I did.
After I said lobby, I started walking, right, and then stopped. Hi, blah blah. You do the whole thing, or you're displaying something, the normal questions, right? And then you meet someone else, and then you meet somebody else, and before you know it, you talk to 5 different people before you even get 100 feet.
Yep.
So I don't know how long that took for me to get to you, like 15, 20 minutes.
5 minutes. I want to say 5, 10.
Sure.
Yeah.
I was just like, I need to get somewhere, and that was a good way for me to exit conversation. Like, I got somewhere to be. But playing that game of trying to give everybody your time, it's definitely there, but it's still fun to do. Yeah. And I enjoy every interaction, whether I met you in the past or not. And sometimes it's like you're talking to somebody who knows everything about you and you know nothing about them.
It is insane.
So you're trying to piece it together. You're looking at their brick badge to see what the name is, what their handle is. And you're like, do you recognize that name? And then, you try to, you want to be fair and bring the conversation back to them so that way they can give you a little bit of piece of information. So playing the Go traditional conversational game is definitely something we all get good at a certain point here.
It's also hard because when you're a content creator, it's not just other content creators coming up to you. It's not just other people who maybe have seen you at other conventions. It's also fans. It's also like there's a whole list. And every time someone says like, hey, it's nice to see you again, my brain has to like go through 1,000 different handles, names, whatever. And like, I'll be honest, yesterday my brain was gone. And there were people coming up to me and they're like, so good to see you again. And my brain was like, short circuiting.
Like trying to figure who's this? Especially when they say again, you're like, wait.
Exactly. I think I had a very embarrassing moment last year with No More Bricks.
Oh.
Because he came, I love it. We've had amazing conversations. And last year, awesome, dude. Awesome. Is he here this week?
He's not here this year. No. Yeah, I don't think the Navy will let him go. He's active duty, so he's kind of stuck.
So I ran into him last year, and my brain was going through that, and I could not remember. And he's like, we had a conversation about Castle, and you forgot. I was like, yes, Lord of the Rings thing, Brick Fair, Virginia.
Yeah, he had a whole castle. Yeah. It was pretty sick and epic.
Oh, yeah. The one he had, Brick Fair was good.
The one at Brick Fair,
But it was the year before I'd met him.
Okay. So, yeah, that happens. You're meeting so many people. There's so many people to log in, and it just happens. And you always want to, especially if you think it's your first time talking to them, you want to give them a good impression. You know why with me yesterday, and then you want to make it a lasting one. Because you want to maintain some sort of professionalism and
you don't want to accidentally blow them off.
You don't want to do that. I've accidentally done that. It's like that's what I'm saying about playing the game of having a decent conversation and being respectful and polite. All those kind of things. A lot of first impressions go a long way.
It does, and I feel bad because Sorry, I'm going to go down a little bit of a rabbit
Go
hole
for it.
here. My first impression with this one kid, and I feel bad about it to this day, is when I was working at the Lego store. So for those who don't know, I was originally started on Lego TikTok doing content there. Took a break for a while to go work at a Lego store because you can't really do content when you're supposed to be there. You know this. You know this.
I mean, it's not explicitly mentioned anywhere. It's just not.
It's
like
such a gray area.
I mean, no one in the rule book says you can't have one.
Yeah.
They just can't. Supposedly can't say and do certain things.
Yeah,
which they don't tell you.
Yeah, I know it's all over the place, and because I've heard there's all these people who have done it and haven't, and so it's like, it's after a while you're just like, all right,
yeah.
But I was I was checking some people out, and this kid comes up and opens TikTok, is like, "Is this you?" And he's like, "Can I get a photo with you?" And I'm like,
you can't do that.
I'm sorry, like I can't do anything, and I felt so like it was my first time ever someone recognizing me out of like, just ever someone recognizing me for my content. And I felt so bad after that. And I'm like, if that kid, if he watches this,
the small likelihood that he does,
just please find me at that Lego store again. And I'll be more than happy to get 5. I'll buy you a CMF figure.
Yeah. So one of the things in the Lego rule book is that you can't promote your social media if you do have one. I do know that. And that was a perfect example of you trying to deflect the thing. How'd you answer that?
I was like, I'm sorry, but my boss won't let me.
Okay.
I think I blamed them.
That's cool. You projected it somewhere else, which is true, as you should.
No, it was 100% true. Like,
otherwise you would have.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah. This is I was, like 20 when this happened. It was like almost 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so excited because someone recognized me.
Yeah.
Like,
that is, it's a cool feeling to like get recognized in general for anything.
Yes.
It's just something that you put a lot of work in, especially like TikTok and all the shorts that you're doing.
I did not put work into that.
Sure, you did something, but it got it reached some people,
it did.
Right? And for them to be like, you see you in the flesh, and I get a lot of I guess how you say it, famous by affiliation type of deals. It happens so much. They're like, hey, you're Emily's friend. Or you're Ryan's friend, or you're Sans' friend. I'm like, what's my name? Can you answer that? And they're like, and I'm like,
is it Die?
Kai?
Phi?
Something? I'm like,
Fo?
Well, hi, how can I help you? So I get a lot of those, and it's funny, and I love still getting that recognition because it shows that my friends are succeeding and stuff. And if I'm benefiting from it in some way, hey, I guess I'll be famous by affiliation. But I love telling these stories to the fellow creator that they're talking about because it's like, hey, I met another fan of yours, and in LA, there's so many Lego places I can venture to. More than likely, you're going to find someone else that is in the community online space, and they'll talk to you about it all day and every day. And getting that perspective is really cool also, because now you're not talking to a creator anymore who's in the game that knows exactly what you're going through.
Yeah.
And then they'll have their own ways of doing stuff, but they'll have you get it. You're in the grind together.
Yeah.
But when you meet someone on the other side of the lens, on the other side of the screen, just to see their perspective on the work that you do is so mind-blowing.
It's motivating too. I had that actually happen this weekend. Some people recognized me for what, and they were just like, please keep it up. Please keep what you're doing because this is like the type of content I want to watch and I can't. It just makes me go after this those self-doubts you maybe have sometimes makes you just like, I'm going to shove those away. And, you shouldn't rely on others to tell you if you're doing good or bad, but it helps. It helps to know, hey, the stuff that I am doing, I'm doing the right thing. I'm moving in the right direction. Yeah,
definitely. So I feel like I've been failing at posting castle content.
You have. It's sad. But the thing, okay, you want to know the most ironic thing right now?
Yeah.
I'm about to have my first video hit 100K views.
Dude, congrats.
So blessed.
Which one is it?
Lego Space CMF comparison.
Wow. Out of all, it's not even Castle.
It's not the most ironic thing.
Is that making you mad?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Because it makes me mad that I'm like, everyone calls me the Castle guy, which I don't feel like I am anymore. I do a lot of Castle stuff, but I don't think Castle defines my content anymore. If I had to give a more general idea, it'd be minifigures, because I do a lot of stuff about minifigures right now.
You know what I see you as?
What?
Classic Lego theme content.
And I agree with that. And that's the direction I'm trying to move in.
Okay, good. Well, then
Yeah, it's working. Like, but it's funny to me that it's like a space video, and I used to give space so much crap because it wasn't Castle. But
and now it's just the world's slapping in the face right now.
Yeah, it's literally going to happen today because it's like 99 point something, and I'm like, it's going to happen during this weekend.
No, that's funny. Like one of my highest shorts that went viral is because of space.
So my 2 highest shorts are how to build a purple spaceman and gray spaceman.
My biggest short is where to find every Lego colored spaceman. And I get it. It's relevant in this month. And it wasn't intentional to be what it is, what it was meant to be for originally with the set, with everything is awesome. But it hits.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know where this is coming from. I don't know if it's because of the set originally and I put Spaceman on it, or is it because of the Spaceman? I have no idea.
I think the reason my 2 blew up on that topic was because of Among Us. The amount of people
of people
going, Among Us and Lego, Among Us and Lego. And I'm just like,
sus. The red one's sus. All comments all day about Among Us. They really need to do a Lego set then if that's that much traction on that. But I mean, that's not going to happen.
No.
But that is right. It is. The classic space does look like Among Us. And a lot of the comments on that viral video, which I'm surprised is still growing, hasn't plateaued in any way. At least 1 out of every 4 comments has to do with Among Us.
Yep.
So it's just funny. But yeah, I don't see you as a castle. I did for a while because that's all you did.
But that is what I built my brand on originally. I mean, not once I wore this because I'm on your podcast.
Oh, okay, cool. I was gonna wear that shirt today, but I figured I didn't give you some respect and give you some of the other love.
I appreciate it. Yeah. I appreciate it. I mean, that's a good one too.
It is a good shirt.
It's a good, it's got everything.
I know you have this. I have the goat one too. Did you bring it?
I don't have that one with me because
I know you have it.
Yeah, I do. I have the funny thing is, this is another side tangent. Talking about shirts and
we're there.
All my shirts I have for conventions, I always bring. People don't realize how many shirts I have from like Brick Monarch, Brick Chast. Yeah. Like I could go a month probably without washing and just be using them.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true, but like every day I plan out what my outfit's going to be depending on different stuff. So like Saturday, my birthday, I'm wearing my 2010 Dragon Knights t-shirt.
Cute.
Because it's my favorite faction.
Yeah, that makes sense. I get it.
Like I coordinate that a bit. So it's like, I think Sunday's going to be dwarves because I like to.
Oh, so you're wearing a faction every day?
Yeah.
Okay. What's tomorrow?
I think I'm doing Blacktron tomorrow.
Oh, you're going space.
I got to do a little bit of space.
Okay, I mean, it's your highest viewed content at this point. Yeah, now you have no choice.
Now I'm just a space guy. You know?
Oh, dude. Oh, man. But going back to Castle, since we're in this topic, I mean, let's talk Castle for a little bit.
Yeah,
so, do you think it's ever going to come back? As a full-on theme, like, look, we have the new stuff that happened. I don't know when this is going to get released, so there might be an answer to this already that we've already passed.
So this is the thing. I get asked this question all the time. What is next for Castle? And I'm going to tell you what I tell everyone else.
What?
I don't know.
Of course you don't.
Because I'm not Brick Clicker who, has connection. Like
who knows?
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm just like, I see what else everyone else says and I report on that.
Mm-hmm.
Now we are getting one new Castle item, which is the stupidest piece of.
What is it?
We got the Lego Ideas voting for the new faction.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for the record, I love that they were like, hey, let's vote on a new faction. What I don't love is that they took this they're going to take this one figure, put in $100+ set, which it's not a Castle set. Now, I like the Spaceman idea because the Spaceman, it's like you're collecting them. You're collecting the individual ones. Whereas Castle, you want to build the armies. You want to build, and you're sticking that in $100 set, forcing us to go buy that. Now, will it show up on PAB? If
they're not going to put it anywhere else, they probably will be. They made the
70%.
Yeah,
70%. Chance it'll pop up on PAB. But I also don't like the argument that PAB is an end all be all. Just because it's showing up on PAB does not make it right. And I have to
advocate for that for sure.
I love that you were able to do a massive Blackout Falcon army. I love that people can do that. But when a kid walks into a Lego store,
they don't know.
They have no clue what that is. So I've gotten a lot of crap for this because I've been spreading this argument a lot lately. And most people are like, okay, yeah, I understand where you're coming from. And it's just like, to me, we have been dying for, like, if the Raven Knights won, I'd be even more upset because how many times have we went to Lego, we want you to do this. And, instead of Lego doing what they did with Captain Rex of, fixing the resale market of going, hey, this is going to be a $600 set. Oh, don't worry, it's going into a $15 set. Just to say, kind of screw you to all the resellers. they're playing right into it because
Yeah,
now
sure.
that so
Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, I feel like they won't waste this opportunity with if they do the Kraken one, right?
yeah.
Let's say they do
Oh
the Kraken one.
gosh,
I
yeah.
think they already know what they're doing. They just
I
they
agree.
just they just want to put
Well,
a
they
vote out
always
there.
do
Yeah,
this.
they already
They always
knew.
do this.
It's already printed. It's already made.
Yeah,
I foresee if they do the Kraken one, the color scheme of that, and the idea of what it could be is like nautical stuff, right? Like
Yeah.
on the water.
which is awesome because if you think about, it, we've only ever gotten 3 sailboat boats.
Yeah,
Troll
yeah.
Warship, Skeleton Ship, and then the Dragon Masters.
Exactly.
Just Dragon Knights.
Dragon Knights. So,
But Black Knights. Oh my gosh, my brain is gone.
oh yeah,
Sorry.
the Viking.
Sea Serpent.
Yeah, Sea
and then
Serpent, yeah.
Viking ships
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
But let's say they do the Kraken one,
Yeah.
right? And it's more like seafaring type of
Yeah.
fashion, which would be amazing. So
awesome. I love it.
I'm foreseeing like translucent legs or some sort of thing like that they could also use for the Ghost Army in the hopefully next I don't know, Lord of the Rings set. Because it's same color scheme, same parts usage. They just have to change the shield, and then you have it.
I would love it because I love green. You know,
Yeah.
I love the color green, and so us getting another green faction is something I'm full hard behind, and that it's a unique color green too.
Mhm.
I like that's why I love the 2010 Dragon Knights is because they were that dark green, which was unique in Lego
Mhm.
Castle. So getting another color like that, I love the idea of the Griffins, but it's too close to the lion stuff we've
Too
got.
close. It's not happening. And
Yep.
we've had so many lion-ish esque.
The Bulls, I am behind because I want them to bring back the Bull faction, especially Cedric the Bull, because I love original
Yeah,
new
you do,
characters.
you do.
But I think the Kraken is the best show. It's a
It
unique
is.
animal.
It's new.
It's unique
it's
animal,
new.
and it's new colors, and that's why like the Raven Knights would be cool. But we've already, we've gotten 2 bird factions.
Yeah.
I really want a horse faction. I was hoping a horse with that color would be awesome, kind of like Rohirrim.
Yes.
But
Kraken works.
I'll take
Kraken works.
Yeah.
It's totally off. It's totally off. And if there's new lore with this, I'll be sick. But there's no way they're gonna build this and not do something.
I agree,
They have to do something with
and
it.
I agree. And if it's just in the pinball, again, I will take back all my comments if after the pinball machine stuff, or I don't, what is it called? It's a gumball. I don't care what-
Gumball machine. Yeah, sure. Toy machine.
Yeah, if it's not just in that set, I'll be very happy. We get a $20 battle pack next year. I'll be the first person store in line buying 40 of them.
Well, those your Lego stores only allow you to buy one, but you're gonna go to your Target and buy like 50.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm on that same boat. I'm gonna buy as much as I can.
We're gonna clear them
gonna
out.
clear-
We're gonna show Lego that Castle Battle Pack sell. Like
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, they definitely see that it's out there. And we definitely make it apparent that army building is fun and we like putting a million of them together. But I want to build another army, not of what we already have. Like Lion Knights, I did a little bit of it. Obviously, the Black Falcons. The Wolf Pack's very hard to do. You can kind of do it with the Forestmen, but you could do it. But
well, for Forestmen and Wolfpack, I don't think need massive.
No,
armies.
you
need.
they're bandits.
I
They're
want to
hiding.
get I at least want to get 20 Wolfpack because I
Mhm.
want to have make a rogue squad. Group.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. It's hard, and I do like the new Viking stuff we have right now.
Oh, I've been going to town with that.
I love the
Stay tuned.
sand green Viking. If you look at my Frostholm mock, which is
Mhm.
another thing that will be here this weekend, I got a group I'm calling the Sylvan Vikings, which uses that new green Viking shield with the green, and those new goat legs from the goat herder. Those legs go
Mhm.
perfectly.
Oh, that's right. I didn't even think about mashing that together.
Go-
That's pretty good.
Goldfire put me
Yeah,
onto
yeah.
that, and
Of course you
I
did.
yeah,
His stuff's so cool.
I love it. He's inspired me a lot with
Yeah.
some of the stuff he's done.
No, that's cool stuff.
But going back to it, I agree. I want something new. And that is why, when we got this, everyone goes, why'd you buy 70 of the orcs when we got that orc CMF figure? I went, because
Because they don't the same.
because, well, first off, it's the last time we were going to get it that I knew of, easily accessible where I could feel through the bags and get them.
Oh yeah.
Also, it's just, it's a new faction in a way, because it's the trolls, but it's different.
Yeah.
And on top of it, you can mix them with the Chima parts, and also it's so good for army building because there's so many good different parts, and you can
Oh,
interchange.
you can fig barf the crap out of
Oh,
this.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think I have close to 200 now
Oh my god.
because I have tons of Chima crocodile parts. I have like 40 of the original Fantasy Era orcs. I've bought goblins and all.
Plus one figure can make like 5.
Yeah, if you do it
Yeah,
right,
if you do it right. Yeah.
especially if you find like a black head or a good head to put underneath
Mhm.
like a closed helmet. Like again, it's great. But the reason I built that and the CMF Snow Guardians because they were different, they were unique.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree. I want something new. I want something. The Black Falcons, I love them, but we've
Now
got
let's be clear about wanting
Yeah.
something new. We don't want we want a new faction as a
Yes.
whole. Like, right? We
Yes.
want not a rendition of an older one. Which
agree.
I would still appreciate it
But this
regardless.
is the thing. And I did a video recently called Pros and Cons of Modern Lego Castle, which I'm very proud of that video because I dived into this topic a lot. But one of the points I made was, if you think about it, we've gotten, I think it's like 9 remake factions,
hmm
0 new factions.
Well, I mean,
Since the Raven Knight. And I'm starting from the blacksmith shop.
are you including the CMFs?
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, I think they're definitely playing on a nostalgia game
Yes.
with people my age who were in the '90s buying Lego, playing with Lego, and they know that we have now the
Yeah.
discretionary income to be able to buy whatever you put in front of
Yep.
us. Like we had the FU money,
Yes.
so we will
Sometimes. Yeah.
sometimes,
But
yeah. For the most part,
Yeah.
they're definitely hitting that chord of the,
Yeah,
of
yeah,
the
yeah.
nostalgia. So I think they're going to run with that for a while. I mean, if you're going to compare, like, would the generation that grew up with the newer castle themes, they're not there yet. They will be soon, like of having that income. So
Yeah.
will they continue going to Kingdoms 1, 2, and all those, or will they continue to stick with all the way up to Fright Nights? Or
Yeah.
maybe even what are the ones that are right after that?
So it was
Those after
Dragon
Fright Nights?
Masters, Royal Knights, and then Fright Nights.
Then there was Ninja after that. But who was after? What was the next official castle? Was it Kingdoms 1?
Knights Kingdom 1,
Yeah.
which was Bulls and technically another line faction.
Yeah, so they won't do it technically another lion faction.
Yeah.
They should do an original theme, brand new like the Krakens, or visit one that's a pure like castle faction, like whether it be the Bulls, because it's just them. It's not a rendition of another Lion Knight of another Lion Knight.
Yep.
So no confusion there.
Yep.
You know
I was
what I
gonna say
mean?
Black Knights, but
But
we
they're
got Dragon Master.
Black Knights are technically a fig barf of the other themes, right?
Yes,
So-
which is one of the reasons I don't like them, and I've gotten a lot of crap
I
from
mean,
them.
I love the Black. That's my first castle theme, but whatever.
Yeah.
We
No,
don't
no,
have to go.
I think Black Knights are good, and there is good stuff about the Black Knights, but they're also, as you said, just fig barf of what we had already gotten with some cool shields and stuff.
Yeah.
I think Dragon Masters.
Dragon Masters would be that's what I mean. Like, so Dragon
Yeah.
Masters will play well, Fright Nights will play well, Bull
And-
Knights will play well.
Sorry, I got to go down this argument with Fright Nights too. In 2 sets, they pointed out that Basil is this bad guy of this era, of this new castle era.
Yeah, they
pointed
mentioned
out.
them in their instructions. Yeah.
They mentioned instructions. He's in Medieval Town Square.
hmm
We got the figure. Let's give us some armies so that we can go burn, pillage, and plunder
What
our
if
Medieval Town
it's
Square.
two bad guy factions? What if the Kraken army is actually a bad army?
Yeah,
And,
behind that.
but they're fighting each other. So yeah, the Kraken.
Well, okay, hold up. Argument here. So I thought we're going down this rabbit
Yeah,
hole.
let's do it.
So Lion Knight's castle has a dock, and there's this
Mhm.
whole water part next to it. Kraken's attacking from the sea.
Fright Nights attacking from the mountain range.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, we'll be sick regardless.
And no matter what,
That'll
they
be
can fight
sick.
each other.
Yeah.
What? Just think about that. Because Kraken, they set it
Yeah,
up already.
they've already set this lore out. If they're going to run with it, I don't know, but I know they were really testing the water with the Galaxy Explorer,
Yes.
right? And I don't know how well that performed or not. I know we can tell the Walmart stuff definitely throws it off.
But people love that. Like
I love that. I bought 3 of them.
Yeah, I have two because I want
Yeah.
to do the duplicates.
The other ones, yeah.
And this is the thing. The Galaxy Explorer is one of my favorite spaceships I own.
It's such an underrated set at this
And
point.
it's everything I want out of a play set too, because you can open up the back, the ramp comes down, there's places to put figures, like the landing gear, like it's awesome. And they did a great job with that. They did a great job with Medieval Town Square. They did a great job with Lion Knight's Castle. Viking, Blacksmith. Let's see what we got. Blackcharm Cruiser.
We also have the GWPs.
Yep.
So
Which Magisto, we are always on
yeah, we
edge
get
about.
that. Yeah.
And I understand, and I've heard a lot of things since that set has come out of why it was made the way it was, and it taught us a lesson of what Lego can do with the GWP and what not to expect.
Mm.
But we've gotten a lot. We've gotten a lot of good stuff. So it's like, what's next?
They
thing?
know there's a market for
Yes.
it. There definitely is. And easily, if you go onto YouTube and type in Lego Castle, they're going to see a lot of your content. They're going to see a lot of Goldfry content, but they're going to see a lot of like other people. Cheesies are so me. There's like who don't really like head hard into
I'm
it
trying to think of who else.
that love it.
There's a bunch of people.
No, there's a bunch.
Yeah.
In the archives. It's not just
Yeah.
recently. It's like in the decade worth of YouTube. So many people do Castle, but it's finding a reason for them to justify making the sets, which is always a gamble.
But this is the thing. There is a market, and everyone goes, well, kids aren't really into that. No, they are. My YouTube comments prove. Because I know, like, not everyone commenting is
Mhm.
20-plus-year-old adult.
Oh, of course not.
And a lot of people I met here, there's a kid who came up to me today, and I'm trying to remember his name now, but like he said he had a Black Falcon mock with him this weekend.
Mm.
And I'm like, in general, I see plenty of people like that
Mhm.
at these conventions, and they want Lego Castle, and I'm just like, there's nothing for them. And I feel so bad because there's no 20, 30, 40,
No, there
$50
isn't.
set
There isn't.
that like the 3-in-1 Castle is the best example of something cheaper that was good. I mean, solid set all around.
All the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the number of people who have bought in more than one of those is insane.
I bought like 6.
Yeah, it's a good set. It's like, and the rebrickables. Oh, my.
Oh yeah, the people want the castle's such an easy thing to build. It's
Yes.
it's also such a pure thing to build because
Yes.
we build castles all day since we're kids. Like you build sand castles when you're at the beach. You build Lego forts and castles all the time. Not Lego forts, actual couch pillow castles and all. My kids do it all the time.
Yeah.
And they kick me out of it all the time. And then I come out and Godzilla all of it like a giant troll. But like,
Well, like how I got into Castle, and this is actually insight into this week's video. It's a I made a very special video for this week while I was gone in Chicago and landed on my birthday, which was like my upload, which was like my first Castle set, which was Knight Showdown, which was one Dragon Knight, one Lion Knight.
mhm.
Dude, I used to just army build as like with the just random pieces in my my siblings' collection
Mhm.
to make armies from both of those. And it's like I was doing that. Like I used to go out in the backyard with my siblings. We make swords and fight each other, like wooden swords. Like
Yeah.
you know.
No, I did the same thing, but
Yeah.
I didn't have siblings, so
Oh.
I just did it with myself.
Yeah. But like what I'm talking like we love medieval and D&D is so big right now. Stuff Game of Thrones. Like now look, I personally have never watched Game of Thrones, and I know
Don't.
it's just there's certain reasons why I haven't, and if you have, that's perfect. Okay, watch whatever content you want, but like when it comes down to it, fantasy is huge right now.
Oh, it is.
There's a market for it. Lego just needs to suck it up.
Just
Do it.
take the risk.
Yes.
Just take the risk.
Okay, think about this. What was the last true castle theme we got?
You're Xing Next
Yeah.
Nights, right?
No,
that?
before Exonites.
I don't know what is it.
2013 castle.
I was out on my dark ages.
Yeah, okay.
So
So that was the Red Dragons and Blue Lions.
that was the last one. I thought Kingdoms 2 was after that.
No, Kingdoms 2 was way before that.
Oh,
So
okay.
it was 2013 Kingdoms fantasy era,
Okay.
Vikings technically, Knights Kingdom
Mhm.
1. If that theme had come out today, now,
Is that the one with the giant figs?
which one?
The one with the construction type?
That's Knights Kingdom 2.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I thought that came out after with
No,
the
no.
Naked Knights.
No, that was gosh, what was that? Back in 2004 or 5?
The Naked Knights, the yellow
Yeah.
ones. That's 2004. I thought we
It's
were
around that era.
Oh, okay. I thought because when I got a Lego, last castle theme I saw on the shelves was Ninja.
Yes, which was
99.
Yes.
That was 99.
I was just
Yeah.
doing a video about this recently, and
I mean,
oh my gosh.
You're the expert in this.
Yes.
You did this whole diving into this endless pit of confusing knowledge.
Yes, and I'm still working on that.
Oh,
I'm
man.
pulling the strings. But this is the thing. 2013 Castle is the last true Lego Castle theme. And I
Mhm.
exclude Exonites because it's a good theme, just not a castle theme.
Yeah.
So this is the thing about it. If that had come out, now it got a lot of hate because it came right after Kingdoms, which was a solid theme. And it didn't really bring a lot of new stuff. It gave us factions we'd already seen before. And the builds, I mean, even Ben the Brick Builder, who's also a big castle guy,
Mhm.
he loves that faction, the Dragon faction from that. He has hundreds of those guys. But he even will admit, those builds, they were cheap. They weren't great. But if that theme came out today, do you know how well it sells? Because it didn't sell great back then. It was on sale all the time. It would sell like wildfire. People wouldn't even care about the builds. They would be buying those sets up like crazy because it's castle. And at this point, we are so desperate for our castle fix.
We'll buy anything.
Yes.
Hence the GWPs.
Yep. Hence us buying 100 CMFs that no one should buy.
So when like, because I built clone armies and stuff
Yes.
like that, and like that first immediate release, you
Yeah.
won't find them anywhere. Like you
Yeah.
people like myself buy 4 and leave 2, right?
Yep.
I do leave some for people. Okay,
I don't.
I'm not that
Not
much on
joking.
that. I'll leave 1, but because you bought them all,
Yeah.
tells Target or Walmart that these are hot sellers, just buy more.
Yeah.
Then the second wave comes in, you buy them all again.
Yep.
Keeps telling that there's so much, and then they buy a bunch because they think they're going to keep selling out, and then they sit there,
Yeah.
and then that kind of messes up the numbers. So what I'm afraid of is something like Galaxy
see that
Explorer is
Yeah.
like, yeah, we all bought it right away, but is it sustainable?
Yeah.
Is it just the fans buying it, which is true, and then will the normies come around and be like, this Star Wars, this Monkey Kid, go back to Star Wars.
This is my argument. I
Yeah,
agree
go
with
for it.
that.
Yeah,
I agree.
go for it, yeah.
I mean, I think Lego does need to target its own fans at times,
Mm-hmm.
personally.
Of
Because
course, they should.
I think the times where I've heard, oh, well, Lego is just making this for the general public. Okay, well, we put a lot of money. It's like we aren't owed anything by Lego.
Of course.
But at the same time, we put our money in. We have built a culture for Lego around Lego.
But to counter argue that, that's why they give us the giant sets.
That's true.
Because we know the regular folk are not going to go for the giant sets. They find no reason to justify spending $400 for a castle.
To counter.
Counter.
That's making it so that normies can't get into it. The average consumer is not going to get into it. Okay, think of it back in the day. There were these $2 to $3 impulse buy sets for old castle all the time.
I miss those.
How many kids are, now adults got into castle because of those? Because their parents were like, I'm willing to buy you a $2 to $3 set.
Mm-hmm.
That's whatever.
Polybags.
Yeah, like polybags,
That's
whatever.
where we're at.
Stuff like that. Anything of those little anything from $10 below. Parents are willing to do that if you walked into the store. But a kid who goes, I love Lego Castle, I love Knights, I want that. Parents gonna look at that $400 price tag and go, no. And that's the thing.
That's me right now.
Lego is not giving people a chance. And there's plenty of people who have told me who are hardcore castle fans, they have families, they don't have the money, and they want to buy these new castle sets, but they can't. And there's no cheaper castle sets. And so again, it comes down to, you should make it stuff like the big stuff for us average. You also got to make sure that the normies, the average people, the people who are just getting into Lego can get a chance to buy that stuff.
Plus, it won't be as expensive.
Yes, exactly.
And there's no licensing fees, brand new stuff. And you could
100%.
I know they can find millions of reasons to reuse these molds.
Yeah.
Totally. It's just printing after that point. And, I'm in the same boat. I want them so bad. Just give me 20, 30, now at this point, $30, $40 sets.
I'll take 50 below. I'll take 100 below
anything.
at times.
I'll take anything. And it's just, when I buy presents for people, and it's always Lego, I always resort to flowers. That's pretty much an easy one. But I would love to give somebody a castle set, right? Like City's boring. I could do that. But, usually I give them as presents. Well,
City's good this year.
This year's, this wave. But in general, it's I wouldn't buy a City set for somebody, right?
And Ninjago it's too niche in a way for me to want to get it for someone.
Unless I know they're a Lego fan kid. Like they watch the show. If I know they watch Ninjago, like my nieces and nephews, they love Ninjago.
Yeah.
So easy. Buy them Ninjago Gardens as a whole. Enjoy. Yeah. And then they freak out. But I want to give them or Speed Champions. That's another giveaway.
Speed Champions is a good one.
But Castle would be cool. But it's kind of a gamble to do that. But it's still this is what I love about Lego. Maybe you might like it too.
And I agree. And I understand why you're coming from. And my personal thing is I think they'd be fully into it. I've seen it before. I've seen it happen.
If it has the right elements to it, good guy, bad guy, good build, simple, not over the top.
Again, it goes with any cheap Lego set for anything. It's
has a dragon.
Sick.
Bring back the classic green dragon. That would be sick.
Well, I mean, okay, the new Mandalorian battle pack. I'm going to be army building that one a bit.
Oh,
I love Mandalore. Mandalore. When we go to Star Wars,
Mandalore. I love Mandalore. If I would be a Mandalorian, the warrior ethos amongst them, the fact that they could stand up against a Sith and not have force powers and still not necessarily succeed, but stand on their own. Says a lot.
So quick little side note here. I don't like Jedi. For some reason, I've just never been all right, they're cool. Clone Troopers I liked, but when Mandalorian started Clone Wars and stuff like that, dude, I wanted that Pre-Vizsla set so badly as a kid.
Yeah.
But Mandalorians are just they're the knights of they're just cool. They're just cool.
They're warrior culture. That's what they are. That's what they
their
are.
Armor and their helmets and all that. But that's why I like that. And it's
they're like the Spartans.
Yeah, they're that rogue faction that's
doesn't give an F about anybody.
Exactly.
That just wants to we are ourselves. Don't mess with us. Stay out of our business. Now we're getting to Mandalorian.
But but the reason I brought up that set, the reason
Okay, go ahead.
I love it because you get 2 good guys, 2 good bad guys. Now I love it if you just got 4 good guys, 4 Mandalorians. Kind of want to build up a massive Mandalorian or small Mandalorian army, but still you get 2 good guys, 2 bad guys.
2 armies with her.
Exactly. And the better thing is you can give that to a kid and he can play with that. It's why I love Knight Showdown. I got a Dream Dragon Knight. I got a Lion Knight. They were able to fight. I was able to, and small sets are great. And this is actually an argument I was making in my newest video is, I say newest, but
at the time of recording, yes. Yeah.
So small sets are great because it inspires a kid to want to build around that set.
Yes.
Because if they get, if they have they have a bunch of rec sets and whatever, and it's like you get this small little set, it inspires you to, what other figures go with this knight, or what other buildings can you make for this, or how can I make a little battlefield for them to set up on, and it's just like. It's the goal of Lego to push imagination. It's not to push the bigger sets; it's to push imagination. Yeah. So I don't know. That's you can tell this is something I've thought.
No, you're definitely passionate about it. Yeah, no. I'm in the same boat, but I can't articulate it as well as you did. Well, but I do want them to come back to doing it. Will they? I don't know. If we look at the shelf space of what's available right now in the Lego store,
well, one theme's about to go downhill, and I'm hoping something good replaces it, but. And I think Dreams is leaving soon.
Well, Dreams has always been a nomadic theme. It's not meant to stick around.
Is it not? I've heard otherwise.
Well, I mean, if a nomadic set that has a normal sunset, a traditional sunset after 3 waves. I mean, again, so
I've heard that they wanted this to be the next Ninjago.
No, they're trying to find a next Ninjago. They've milked Ninjago as far as they could, and they wanted to end at this point. And it was necessarily never supposed to be an evergreen. No. It was never. I mean, according to Kevin Hinkle, he saved it by accident and got in trouble for it. But it became an evergreen theme, and they're trying to find that next evergreen theme if they need that. But are you familiar with how they judge a wave or not?
Yeah, if wave 2 does, you can see a video on this. Wave 2 does.
That came straight from Jordan's mouth. Yeah. So, like, if a second wave does well, they'll keep going. So, did the second wave of Dreams do well?
It just didn't have a solid set. But the third wave honestly looks like the best.
By that point, it would be too late. It would be too late because the second wave didn't do it. And it's always that second wave.
And
always the second wave.
I haven't watched the show, but I watched R.R. Slugger's review of it.
Of course.
And R.R. Slugger, I love R.R. Slugger. He's a great content creator, and he really does a great job on what he does. And I will say, like, I don't always agree with him, but that's one of the reasons I like watching him is because he has this different perspective. And everything he says is backed up. But he has a great job. But he talked about it, and the way he talked about it, I completely understood where he was coming from. Of just like a lot of his points.
Can you recap some of that? Just because a lot of people probably
So I'm trying to remember some of the big points. I remember one of the big ones was like they talked about all this stuff they were going to explore, and then they really didn't explore
mental health and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's like it's like I was expecting them to explore in this area, and then they didn't. And it's like how about this area? Nope, they didn't do it there. And it's like there's a bunch of different stuff where like it didn't feel like there was anything deeper to this. And it's like it just felt it's so surface level.
Empty.
Yeah,
it definitely felt empty. That had so much potential to kind of to bring up so many things that are going on with kids nowadays, even to adults, and that's what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
But even trying to, because I attempted to watch the show with my children.
Yeah.
They were bored.
And that's the thing he said that he was watching with his child, and he said
nothing. No.
And I looked through because I like to read comments because I like to see what other people are thinking, and half the comments were that they're like, I was trying to watch this with my kids. They didn't care.
Didn't care.
No, and that's the thing is if the kids are bored and the adults are bored,
it's done.
No one's.
Yeah, it's so sad. There's such cool elements in there. Which they're not going to waste. I know they're going to use some of that in the future. So hopefully they're going to recycle some of the little dream people. Those are cool. I love those things. I wanted to build an army of the little black nightmare looking dudes.
Those guys are cool.
And sometimes I saw some of it on Pick a Brick. So
it was great because I was able to get some of those like the purple bow because I have those moon knights like like I want to get the purple bow.
The white with the silver.
Yeah, like the purple. Yeah. So there's just a lot of cool stuff from that.
As a Castle fan, they have a lot of good elements that comes out of that, and then I was definitely appreciative of it. When
the recolored Dream Sword that we got for the Barbarian was like amazing, and I love it when we get new weapons.
But you don't get new weapons in Star Wars though.
Yeah,
I have to throw it out there. Someone was going to say it. Let's just say it for them. No
Star
Mandalorian.
Wars gets everything that every other thing should be getting.
Right? No Darksaber.
It's so sad.
I feel like they're just trolling Star Wars fans at this point.
I think Disney has a lot to say about what's going on.
A
with
dark
Star Wars.
saber, they can't make a dark saber. It's just a ninja sword that's colored black.
Yeah, yeah. Basically, and again, this is the weird thing is like it's. Let's be honest, the Lego designers want to do this stuff. We've seen that the Lego designers aren't the problem a lot of time. Well, in some situations, yes.
Okay.
The thing I can think of is the gunship interview.
Yeah, that's the only reason. That's the rebuttal against what you just said.
And there's some other ones that have been like, okay, I don't usually go down this rabbit hole, but like, okay, hold up. Sorry, you're contradicting yourself really badly here.
Mm-hmm.
But there's like, you look at Aaron, who's did that Exo Force set that's coming out here soon, or the $20 spaceship. Like you can see that, I got to talk with one of the designers who did the Ice Planet new helmet from the new Ice Planet CMF fig. And, you know, he got to go into, and these guys love what they're doing. And they're so passionate about original Lego, like, you know, and all these different parts of Lego. And you can tell they're passionate about it. But at the time, it's Big Brother upstairs at the Lego office saying no, no, no to a lot of stuff. It's the vibe I'm getting. Now, I'm not hearing this from anyone. Like, it's the vibe I'm getting. And I want to say that. And I'm trying to get into trouble.
To be fair, Star Wars in general is a lot of lore.
Yes.
Right. And for most people, even myself, who says I enjoy a lot of Star Wars, I can consume a lot of it, I understand a lot of it, but even I mess stuff up.
Yeah.
So in that aspect, like as a designer, trying to incorporate all these story and things that people might get, I mean, Star Wars themselves messes it up.
Yeah.
And you know, like it's like unless you're sticking to the original 6.
Yeah.
Right. And then that's the prequels and the OT. I'm not counting new ones, just because the new ones. I'm not saying the new ones are bad or not.
No, you're not saying old enough yet. Bad. It's because of the era. You know, like they're so defined.
Exactly. You know exactly. Yeah. Darth is Luke's father. Yeah. Like there's no way you can mess that up. And if you do,
he is.
Oh my God. No, but I mean, even with the recent interviews with a certain individual mistaking for Anakin as the one who destroyed the Death Star when the whole time it was Luke. But, you know, like you're playing this role, you should know that as an actor, right? At least you would think. But no, even these actors don't even know the lore completely to themselves, and they mess stuff up, and fans get outraged when they say something in an interview that they shouldn't be saying.
This is why I stopped caring about Star Wars a while back. It's because, and that's not good. It's literally because it's just like, no one, it's such a mess between the fans, the mood content, everything's a mess in Star Wars world. And I'm like, you know what's kind of a fun mess is Castle.
No, that is a headache amongst itself. And I know you spent a lot of time figuring out that lore. And I think you're kind of defining it for them at this point.
Someone asked me, today asked me if Lego ever has reached out to Tanya.
Have they?
No. They've never been like, hey, thank you for doing our job, but better. I'm not joking.
Well, you did.
I'll accept Lego. I'm more than welcome. Like I would only ever go work for Lego. And I'm saying this out to the world because maybe it'll come true. Is if Lego goes, hey, we're making a castle theme and we want you to come write the lore for it. I'll tell you right now, I'll be on a flight to Denmark tomorrow.
But the fact that you just mentioned it right now, it's not happening.
Yeah, I know.
Because obviously you would have been already there. They would made you sign an NDA. You can't say anything until it's out.
But maybe this way, like
maybe
in 5 years when they start going down that path
of what else do we make.
So please clip this and put this on the.
Oh no, it's going to be a short for sure. Yeah, it's going to be a short for sure. We're going to throw it out there as many times as possible.
People have asked me like, "Oh, would you want to go?" I would never want to design a Lego set because I suck at building.
Well, the stress of it alone, like imagine being a designer and you're giving these parameters that you're working with. So according to Tiago, it's just price point.
Yeah.
So you're getting a price point, and then you try to figure out what you can afford for that price off of A, B, C, D, and E like parameters of the story, whatever you're doing. So then you're building it, and now you're stressing out. Like, are fans gonna like this, or is it gonna sell? And then you get the feedback like, this sucks.
Oh my gosh! Like, so I've been trying to be more positive in life lately, and it's a big thing. If you watch all my content, I try to if I'm being negative about something, I'm trying to back up why. Like, I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just trying to talk about. I'm trying to talk about. And so in life, I'm trying to be more positive in just many different areas, and. There's so many times where I'm like, I feel bad for the backlash I gave Magisto GWP when it first came out.
You should be pissed off.
And then I did a video where I was like, is this as bad as ever? Because I do think people have made it a lot worse. How people are like, this is the worst set ever. I'm like, Are you sure?
You wanna look back a little bit?
Because I know I can name a dozen sets off the top of my head that that have come out that we would all say are worse sets.
True.
It's just the fact that we didn't get what we wanted, and that does affect how we think about it. So it is hard, but I do agree. I don't think it is the best set ever made, and I'm not going to say. I think it's one of the weakest castle sets we've gotten since the Blacksmith. So in general, like I'm just saying, as a time frame. I'm not saying the Blacksmith is a bad set, and a complete opposite. But in general,
that's my favorite set.
Huh?
I was going to say that was my favorite set.
I know.
You're about to sound like, what are you going to say?
No.
What are you going to say about it?
I say the new castle era started with the Blacksmith.
Yes.
So it goes that. So the point I'm trying to make is like, I lost my point. But like, it's one of the weaker sets, but like, I feel bad for how mad I got when it first, like, I went off on that set.
We all love the Dragon Masters, right? Yes. And like that iconic helmet that was obviously reused again in the Bulls, but
the Bulls, Fright
Nights as well. I think we were hoping to see that helmet because with that make of the new helmet mold, you knew it was going to come back. You knew that, okay, this thing.
If we had gotten a shield and a helmet,
then you knew it was coming back. But we didn't. And that was the.
And that's the moment where like, is Dragon Masters dead after this?
Yeah, exactly. Because they didn't want to invest in. But it is a GWP. I think invest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe they're just not ready yet.
But
maybe.
Yeah.
And maybe it's on the works.
And that's why I think they should have done a GWP of a set that we already had the parts to. And then they added one little new part in that made that thing special. So like I can think of a dozen old Black Falcons or Lion Knight sets or Forcemen sets that they could
redo. They could redo the original Joust set.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And because they would just use the new torsos and give a couple armors.
Lion Knights and the Black Falcons, and it would perfectly play well.
There was a great one someone recommended that it's like a catapult, and I know I have it. It's catapult, and then there's a Lion Knight on a lion with lion horse parting. And I was like, that would have been a perfect GWP.
Yeah.
Because it's a remake of an original set, but we already have the parts. And again, you find something new that like, here's a new shield for the Lion Knights, or here's a new one new torso. That way you don't have to try to make as many things new.
Yes, fair enough. So, and it's just printing in the end of the day, and it's not necessarily like making a new mold.
Because at this point, I'm like, hey, bring back, like, we should be getting the Wolfpack Renegades, I think the set is called. Sorry, my thousands of sets out there, I'm trying to remember that name. But, like, it would be a great set to do now because we have the torso, so the new part would have to either be the shield or the flag.
Did the new Wolfpack have the the hood helmet?
No,
but I don't remember. I haven't opened my set yet.
I'd be fine if that just had a hairpiece.
What was it wearing? Just a hoodie?
Jedi hood.
A Jedi hood? Okay. Yeah. I still haven't opened that set. It's still in my backlog.
You need to open it.
Well, I'm going to. I promise. I have like a lot of castle content that I need to work on. I'm working. I just built up my pirate army.
Yep.
So I need to do that first. I need to do that first. I got so much to continue with the castle. It's there. I have all the pieces. I just have to sit down and do it. And I remember putting like 10 figures together. I'm like, oh man, I really need to do this because I'm enjoying this. This is so fun.
Dude, army building. There's something about snapping those figures.
Oh my, and then just having them in rows. And you're like, this is sick. And going back to what we were talking about earlier.
Sorry. Yeah. I might just go down a rabbit hole.
Oh no, we went to 50. Yeah. And then like I just wanted to bring this up with buying cheaper sets, right?
Yeah.
In my comment section, what I get a lot is where do you get all this?
Yeah.
Right. And they accuse me of, oh, you're the reason why we can't buy. I'm like, what set am I buying to get 1,000 of these? And they presume that I bought 1,000 of castles. I'm like, no, I didn't do that. You can go here. This is how you do it. And then the comments and message I get back and forth of, I can't find them. This is hard. It's not easily accessible.
And that's why I said earlier, PAB is not an end all be all because I have thought about making videos about this topic of just like how to use PAB because people don't know how to use it. And Lego doesn't give us any reason. Again, and people are like, well, you're just bitter because of something. No, I'm thinking about the kids. I'm thinking about the kids. I've said this I think I've already said this. If a kid walked into a Lego store, he doesn't know how to get that stuff.
Yeah, no, he doesn't.
And Lego's not going to really help you figure out how to use PAB. And PAB's easy to use in a way, but you got to know how to use it. And it's like, and also it's like, it's going to take 2 months to ship. And also
not anymore.
Well, bestseller, but not everything's on bestsellers.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's true. But
because
bestseller is the only way you can get your GWPs now and your double VIP points.
That's true. But this is the thing. If there's one new part that comes out, or like there's parts I wanted to get for a Viking order, but it was switched between bestseller and that. So now I got to do like two $40 orders just to hit the free shipping threshold to make it feel worth it. And it's like, at this point, I'm just looking for people in my area who can order me stuff on PAB when I want it. And in that way, I'll just pay them back. So I honestly don't like dealing with PAB anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm on Pab every day.
It's a choice to not be addicted to it. That is part of it. But
well, I mean, I'm waiting for that goat. I'm waiting for that, piece that everybody wants, and you'd be like, "Hey, Brad, check it out." Blah blah blah. There's already a list of people that I know.
When the Shields hit for the Vikings, when the Viking stuff in the Viking Village hit, people are like, "Man, you gotta do this. You gotta do this." I'm like, I got expenses coming up, and I can't do this. Like.
When the new shields came out, I was like, "Oh, buy! I don't care how much it costs. Just buy 50 because you never know if it'll disappear and not come back."
And that's what I'm always scared of. Is like, again, if let's say we get the Raven Knight torso, it's going to be gone in a second.
But so one thing that I'm confident now with Pab, I know you don't want to go with that. What I'm confident about it now is I think there's a bunch of content out there, and I'm not including myself. Well, I guess I'm including myself into it. That shows that Pab is a benefit for a lot of things, right? If you want multiples of something, it's somewhere to be. And I think with the investment I think they've been doing lately with them by putting a bunch of inventory on there, by being, I feel like they opened up a new warehouse in the Southwest or somewhere in that area that's dedicated to the West Coast of the United States. Because before, even bestsellers would take us like 2 weeks to get. Now it's like the next day. Like, where did this come from?
Really?
Yeah, I'm getting Pab quick. Like fast.
No, it must be out in California because that's not hitting me that quickly.
No, but then it would always have to come from like the Midwest or East Coast, like that's the before. But I'm getting it quick, and I've seen a lot of other people in the West Coast feeling the same way. I'm like, hey, are we getting these like right now? So with the amount of inventory that's being put on there on bestseller, and even just the regular inventory in general, to include free meal, to include the ability getting it quicker. I feel like they know that this is something that they should not ignore. You know what I mean?
It is getting better. Again, it is getting better, and it is for us hardcore fans.
It's definitely for
site to go to.
It's definitely for the fans. It is not for like normal people.
And that's the sad thing is because you go to a Lego convention like this, and parents come up to me and was like, "How do you have so many of these?" Like my kids want. Yeah, you got to use Pab, and then they're like,
Pab. How do they do that? And it's not even like a minifigure is ready for you to buy. You have to buy the helmet, the head.
You have to make choices,
and it's not even. They might not all even be there.
Yep.
You might only the torso might be available, or even the legs might be available.
And it's not even great saying, "Hey, go to Bricklink," because it's like
that's even more confusing, and you can't explain that either. So but I tend to. I've done it a few times where I show how I got it, but I never did a dedicated video. So I think that's something you should be like. Harping on.
I think there are content creators who could do it better than me, who use Pab more. I'd really like. I can't remember if Firebird did one on it, but he should honestly. Like, and I think some of the bigger creators, Lego needs to work with the bigger creators to help promote it because they are doing something right now where they're like sending creators parts to build mocks with, or and it's really cool, and I'm really happy that they're trying to promote it more. But they need to show how to use it. It's not just here's parts from Pab because people go, huh? But also at the same time go, here's all these sources to help you be able to use it.
Yes. Especially when you're looking for that one piece, you don't even know how to, like having someone figure out what to call it.
Yep.
Like how do you recognize a piece?
Color. Because colors, it's not purple, it's technically pink. And it's like, because
what?
I was trying to find parts because I'm doing the Yellow Crown Knights army.
That's
and I was trying to find
I gave up on that. That's all you did.
I feel like 50 or so.
I only have 12.
See, I used Pab to order some torsos to put under the armor, so I was able to like fig bar fit into this. Like,
of course,
it looks great. But that's hopefully a future video at some point.
I can't wait to see it.
Like I was looking for gold parts and certain pink parts just to be able to match with the color scheme, and it was such a pain in the butt to try
figure out what the lavender, whatever, all those weird colors.
So
yeah, the colors suck. This is the most Lego talk episode I've ever had.
So I was prepping for this podcast by listening to the one with Ross on the way down.
Wow. Okay.
And the funny thing, okay, real quick side note, we're gonna do a little quick throwback. You guys were talking about like mowing the lawn. And stuff. I used to be a groundskeeper, so I totally understood where you guys were coming from, and I was like, "Oh yeah, no, that makes sense." Like, this is fun. I like listening to you guys talk about that. It's like I was totally expecting to come on here and talk about like the workout stuff I've been doing recently, or like the parts of my life or other deep things, and I'm like, I'm more than happy to talk about Lego.
We for some reason went into this hole of Lego.
Yeah. And I love it. It's great.
You've solidified the reason of being in this space. I appreciate that. Because really we don't. I mean, the subject matter isn't really Lego at all.
No.
It's people within the Lego community. It's really. As I'm progressing with the evolution of this podcast. Like I didn't have a definition when I started.
Yeah.
I just went, Holly, Brent, are you down to record? You're in my area. Let's just record something. Let's see what happens. And then as it progresses, it's been, just like Cali Brick Click did in the past, like it kind of evolves into content creation. And now it's just like, I don't even know where this is going. It's people within the Lego community. They have an impact in some way, whether it be making it, filming it, or building it. And really, it's just what's in your mind at the time of the recording. And
we are at Chicago.
We are at
with
Chicago.
Tons of Lego around.
We're both wearing shields.
Yeah.
And we both love Castle.
We do.
And I appreciate you coming on here and keeping us to that standard. Because
dude, I did not know what to expect. And I'm so happy this is the path we went down.
I'm happy too.
Because this is the thing. I think people don't realize this about me. I think people think that when I talk about Lego Castle or stuff, it's a front. It's like that's something I enjoy.
You love this.
Like I hate talking about most other things besides this topic. Like I genuinely, last year, I remember having an hour-long conversation with someone. It was Victor about
Clips.
Yeah. Which is about Lego Castle lore. Just like one night. He was just like, okay, I'm curious. I'm like, all right, let me explain this. And but I genuinely love talking about this. And I genuinely love talking about Lego and the way it impacts people and also the stories, because those stories inspired me so much as a kid. So I want to inspire others with them. And I just think all the time about these topics. And this is genuinely what I enjoy. I don't like talking about politics or talking about all these other things that people talk about. Like, I don't love food anymore. Like, that's because my body hates food because I have a lot of stomach issues.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like all this stuff is like people, the normal stuff people talk about. But like I genuinely, you get me going on these conversations.
Oh, I know.
I'm more than happy.
We spent a whole hour talking about Lego. Like I was not expecting to talk all Lego today. And I'm happy that we did.
This is one of my favorite conversations.
I need an episode of just talking Lego talk because even I'm being like, big content creator Lego people in here. And do we talk about Lego? We talk about filming it.
Yeah.
that's pretty much where it goes, but we never really, talked about it.
The title can be the one about Lego.
Sure, I remember that. All right, bro. Before we spend another hour talking about continuing Castle stuff and hating myself in the future for having to edit another hour worth, is there anything else you want to say, bring up, plug?
By
the time you plug anything that's relevant right now, it's already been out.
Just follow my YouTube channel. That's why I'm doing most stuff there. I don't really care about the other platforms. I post.
What's the brand?
Breaking Up Brad.
There you go.
Breaking Up Brad.
Plug that.
I haven't changed it yet.
I know. It's good. It still works.
People have told me I should change it, and I'm
to
stuck
what?
with it.
Bricking Brad?
No, well, because bricking has brick
in general, yes.
Yeah, bricked up, and stuff like that. And so people have told me oh, you should, you do videos for kids, and at this, because originally when I created the name, it was leveling up to the next level, always trying to be better, always trying to,
Yes.
So it's I've stuck with it, but I almost changed it to Bradford the Bard. Use my full.
Wow, I can feel that.
I know.
Yeah.
It was originally Brad the Bard, but it's taken, and so I was like,
is it relevant to that person that took it? Oh yeah, don't worry about it.
He's like a musician or something.
Yeah.
I was like, dang it, that's such a good
Or
name.
you could use it because it's searchable, and they just come to you instead. What's this?
But I like to be stand out from the crowd.
Original. Be original. I get that.
Yeah, I'm doing that. Trying to think of anything else. I'm really everything else that I could plug is no longer a thing. So.
I mean,
you're
gonna see it soon.
The funny thing is, it's not even just that. I was starting a YouTube channel with some friends about gaming.
Nothing wrong with that.
No,
it's cool.
And because I used to do this kind of stuff with them all the time. We play games, just record ourselves, and then we stopped doing it because we all got lazy.
That's the thing when you do something as a group. Yeah, it's gonna happen,
and it is sad because it's not even just it's time. It's so much time, and when all of you have
different things going on in your own lives, things I can totally relate with other aspects where I've had groups in in some sort of collaboration or an organization. It's just people grow up, people grow out, and new people want to come in, and it's a hard thing to do to keep people together.
Yeah, but and sometimes you need that time. That time is good for it. It's I'm really glad that's stud butts. It's a thing that happened, and sadly, actually it's 1 year since we kind of
we're perfect.
it's
I'm sorry, not perfect.
No, I know.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I know exactly what.
Look at the short that I did on Father's Day, guys. That's what I'm talking about.
Exactly. So like it was 1 year ago that we kind of made the decision of like, this is just too much. We can't do this anymore. And it's just, there's just so much in our own lives that is happening.
And all of you guys are going through some like expected changes in your lives.
Exactly. I mean, literally a year ago not from today, but like a year and some time ago, I lost my job. Like I went full-time content creation almost a year ago, and it's like it's changed my life in
still full-time?
Yeah.
Oh, good stuff, man.
So I'm now full-time content creator, and I do freelance jobs on the side to, once in a while.
Supplement. You need to, diversify.
Make sure I pay rent.
That's the point.
It's a good thing. And it's like, so I'm doing that still full-time, and it's, it's been stressful at times, but it's been one of the best years of my life.
Dude, you're living your dream,
Exactly.
man. Oh, yeah. Congrats.
And it's like, I've gotten to work on myself so much over the past year and change as a person. It's like, and it's not that Stud Buds would have holding me back from that, but it's also like that, it's that happening. Lego, Ethan just got off of Lego Masters, and like, Zane was having a kid, and it's like, Matt is laying and all this other stuff. And so it's just like, it worked out. And in the end, I'm really glad we had that time together, because like, the friendships, like kind of because of it, I got to meet so many people, including you and all these other people. And it's like, I do miss podcasting. It's why one of the reasons I kept bugging me, like, no, I'm willing to be on.
I'm like, fine, Brad, you can come on. You're not a priority.
Yeah.
But I was going to go to New York sometime. So,
well, I mean, you can,
I know.
We can do a part 2.
There is. So I've been mapping out where everyone's at. So so this time around, I prioritize the people that I'm not likely or less likely to run into. Because we know how hard it is for the overseas to come. But you coming on, I'm like, I'm down with that. And we talked about Lego, so it worked out. So I appreciate you as always, man. We need to get back to the convention. Otherwise, we'd be sitting here all day talking about Lego, which is not a bad thing at all. But in that case, thank you again. I will definitely see you in New York one day and be like, hey, I need to record a part 2 to this. Let's talk Castle.
I got a great place to do it. So.
All right, awesome. All right, then. All right, guys. Peace.
That was awesome. I lost track of time. I was like, I'll be an hour in.